One of the most common things people come to see me for at my practice is allergies. And that's because they want to get to the root cause of what's driving their allergies instead of just taking medication to suppress and band-aid their symptoms. Because a lot of these medications these days have side effects, cause drowsiness, and people want to avoid that. So today I want to spend some time and talk about the different root causes of allergies and what you can do in order to take action. Common symptoms of allergies can include itchy eyes, itchy nose, runny eyes, congested nose, constantly needing to clear the throat, cough, sneezing. These are all common symptoms. And then there are a variety of over-the-counter medications that are commonly used to support and band-aid these symptoms or simply suppress them. And these include the oral antihistamines like Zyrtec, Allegra, Benadryl. And these medications have common symptoms of making people feel drowsy. And then there are the nasal steroids, and then those have risks as well because they can cause bleeding of the nose. They could thin the mucosa in the nose, but they're effective at clearing up some of the congestion in the nose. And then last but not least are the decongestants like Afrin and Sudafed. But the problem with these medications is they can increase your heart rate. They can make you feel irritable, anxious, lose sleep. So they do have their side effects, and they are real side effects. So what are some common root causes of allergies, and what can you do starting today? The first and most common one that I spend a lot of time in my clinical practice talking about is gut imbalances, leaky gut, and chronic inflammation. And the reason this is important is because the gut and the immune system are connected. The immune system, when it's imbalanced, that's when allergies can result. All the symptoms of allergies are as a result of an immune system that's dysregulated or imbalanced. And so it's very, very important to figure out what's causing the dysregulation in the immune system if we're looking to get to the root cause of the problem. Because remember, as we said, a lot of those medications are just working on symptoms. We're trying to get to the root cause of what's going on, and that's where naturopathic and functional medicine really comes in. So one of the main root causes of immune dysregulation is gut imbalance and leaky gut. Why? This is because 70 to 80% of the immune system lies behind the walls of the gastrointestinal tract or the gut. And when the cells of the gut wall become leaky, meaning they develop holes in them, and this happens in a condition called leaky gut or intestinal hyperpermeability, undigested food particles, toxins, they can pass through the walls of the gastrointestinal tract. And as I said, 70 to 80% of the immune system lies behind the walls of the gastrointestinal tract. So when these undigested food particles and toxins get through, the immune system sees it and continues to attack them over time. And over time, as they continue to attack these undigested food particles and toxins, that results in immune dysregulation and can result in allergic type symptoms. So as far as the causes of allergies are concerned and intestinal hyperpermeability is concerned, it's very important to understand what caused the hyperpermeability in the gut wall, what caused the leaky gut. And that usually results from toxin exposure, food sensitivities, food allergies, bacterial imbalance in the gut, deficiency in digestive enzyme capacity, deficiency in beneficial bacteria in the gut, perhaps parasites in the gut, bacterial overgrowth in the gut. So it's very, very important if there's allergies to really evaluate the health of the gastrointestinal tract to figure out how it could be balanced. Because if the gut is not happy, chances are the immune system will not be happy because of this crosstalk that's constantly happening. Another reason why a healthy gut is important for a healthy immune system is because the bacterial balance in the gut really sets the stage for the state of reactivity that the immune system has. So if there's imbalance in the bacteria in the gut, that's going to result in a heightened immune response, and that means more likely to experience allergic symptoms when environmental triggers are there. So very important to balance the bacteria in the gut, and this will result in a calmer immune response. Chronic inflammation is one of the other root causes of allergies, and so one of the main drivers of chronic inflammation is exposure to poor quality foods that you're sensitive to, that you're allergic to, because if you're consuming foods that your immune system doesn't like, over time this is going to result in chronic inflammation because constantly your body is being exposed to foods that your immune system doesn't like, and over time this can overload the immune system and make it more susceptible to allergies. So it's very important if you have any foods that you're allergic to, that you're sensitive to try to avoid them, so that does not result in this heightened state of your immune system and allows your immune system to calm down. A patient came to see me who was experiencing severe allergic symptoms, and it was interesting. He said that they would get better and then they would come back, they would go away, come back. So it was really interesting to me, the pattern, and I suspected that it was being caused by some of the foods that he was eating. So I did a food sensitivity test on him, and I discovered he was sensitive to almonds, dairy, some type of nuts, eggs, and he was being exposed to these foods on a daily basis. So what I asked him to do is to avoid these foods for 3-4 weeks, and he came back and noticed that he had significant improvement in his allergies, and that's because the chronic inflammation was coming down. We were able to identify some things that were causing inflammation in his body, and he removed it, so the immune system calmed down. And this happens a lot of times, and it's very, very important to personalize a nutrition plan for what works for you, because some foods could bother your immune system, whereas another person will be able to tolerate them. So food is definitely a place you want to start if you're looking to minimize chronic inflammation and manage your allergies, because foods can promote chronic inflammation in the long term. But toxin exposure is another factor you want to pay attention to, because toxins also promote inflammation in the long run. When it comes to toxins, you obviously want to be mindful of the food that you're eating, because foods could be a great source of toxins, but you also want to be mindful of the toxins in your environment, the air you breathe, the lotion and potions you put on your skin, the water you drink. These are all important variables to keep in mind if you're looking to minimize toxin exposure to reduce chronic inflammation. For beauty and personal products, a great resource is the EWG Skin Deep database. EWG stands for Environmental Working Group, and this resource is great because it allows you to search all your beauty and personal products, and then it will rate it on a scale of toxicity, so you know how toxic they are and if you should perhaps consider switching to a more natural, non-toxic brand. And these are just simple steps that you can take, minimizing your toxin exposure. So take a look through your beauty and personal care products, check them out through the database, and if they're toxic, switch them for something better. It'll be a good investment in your health, but also important for your immune system and your allergies. Another simple way to reduce toxin overload in the body and minimize chronic inflammation is by being mindful of the household cleaning supplies, because especially if you're suffering from allergies, the household cleaning supplies that are releasing toxic chemicals and fragrances in the air that you're breathing in are surely not helping. In fact, they're likely overloading your detoxification systems, adding greater burden to your immune system, which are not helping your allergies at all. A very important one is laundry detergent, because you're sleeping in the sheets, you're using the towel to dry your body, you're wearing the clothes, so you're constantly breathing the chemicals that are coming off the clothing, the linen, and the towels. So make sure you're using a laundry detergent that is non-toxic. There are a lot of good ones on the market. That is a simple way to reduce your toxin exposure, so you're not overloading and overburdening your liver, your immune system, and making it more likely for you to have allergic reactions. Another simple way to minimize toxin exposure that is particularly important if you're experiencing any allergies is to make sure you're not using any of the Febreze plug-in air fresheners in your home, and none of those Febreze sprays or any of those Christmas tree air fresheners in your car. When I get into an Uber, I smell to see if they're using any of that, if you're using any of the plug-in air fresheners, or if they have any of the trees in their Uber, and I ask them to quickly unplug it, or I open my windows. I tell them I have allergies, and I kindly ask them to please take that stuff down, because they're a toxin bomb, and if their windows are up, you're breathing that in, you're overwhelming your detox systems. Not very good for your immune system. So be diligent with the air that you're breathing. Make sure your own home, your work environment where you're sleeping, you don't have any of these toxin bombs that you're constantly breathing in and overwhelming your immune system with. There are healthier alternatives to these, like using essential oils and a diffuser, or fragrance-free soy-based candle. I live in San Diego and I see a lot of people come into my office with mold, and that's because we live near the ocean. There's a lot of moisture in the air. The homes are old, so a lot of them have water damage. They even have signs of visible black mold. So if you have lived in a home that has water damage, if you have any visible signs of mold in your home, be sure to test your home for mold because it is definitely a root cause of allergies. So when it comes to supporting a weakened immune system to manage allergies, very important to look for any of these hidden infections, look for mold, and address them. Another variable that's very important for suppressing the immune system for managing allergies are addressing nutrient deficiencies. The common nutrient deficiencies that are found in those suffering from allergies include vitamin D, vitamin C, zinc, omega-3 fatty acids, and other key antioxidants like glutathione. This is why, as a naturopathic doctor, I do a lot of nutrient testing in my patients suffering from allergies because I want to understand what their nutrient status looks like for these key nutrients that are important for the immune system and for allergies. So all of my patients, I test vitamin D levels in because the research shows that an optimal vitamin D level when it comes to supporting the immune system is around 60 nanograms per deciliter. So I check my patients' vitamin D levels, see where they're at, and put together a prescription to get them to that optimal range because simply correcting vitamin D levels goes such a long way for supporting the immune system and for suppressing and managing allergies naturally. Another common nutrient deficiency in those suffering from allergies are omega-3s. Omega-3 fatty acids are very important for balancing the immune system. And oftentimes, those that are suffering from allergies have a dysregulated immune system. So it's very important to dial in these key nutrients like omega-3s and vitamin D to balance or modulate the immune system, which will make it less likely for allergies to result. Food sources like fish can help with omega-3 levels, but if you're experiencing symptoms of allergies, chances are you're deficient in omega-3s, and so it might be good to increase your food intake of omega-3s, but also consider adding a good quality omega-3 product to help modulate or balance the immune system. Another key nutrient deficiency in those suffering allergies are antioxidants like vitamin C, zinc, and glutathione. This is because antioxidants are crucial for balancing or modulating the immune system, and when these nutrients are deficient, it is more likely for the immune system to get dysregulated. Lastly, another common deficiency I see in those experiencing allergies are deficiencies in key bacterial strains in the gut. It's really important to pay attention to those key strains of bacteria in their gut and to make sure there's optimal levels of them because this will help balance the immune system, calm it down, and make it less likely for allergic symptoms to result. Stress and adrenal fatigue are another root cause of allergies because they weaken the immune system and make you more susceptible to experiencing any allergic symptoms. We all can relate to this. When we're not sleeping very well, we're more likely to get sick. Well, the same thing happens with those that are experiencing allergies. If you're not sleeping very well, your immune system gets suppressed. Allergies are more likely to result. This is why getting consistent quality sleep is so important for your immune system because those deep stages of sleep allow your cells to repair and regenerate and your immune system to get stronger. So any of my patients that are experiencing a weak immune system or allergies, I'm working with them to optimize their sleep to make sure they're getting optimal 8 hours of sleep each night because it's one of the most important investments you can make in your immune system. So if you want to get to the root cause of your allergies, the first thing you want to do is remove any triggers you could be exposed to that are driving your symptoms. That could be food sensitivities or food allergies. The next thing you want to do are remove potential infections like Lyme and mold, but also pay attention to any infections in the gut like H. pylori, parasites, or any microbes that could be overgrown. From there, very important to support your immune system by addressing key nutrition deficiencies like vitamin D, omega-3s, key antioxidants like zinc, vitamin C, and glutathione. And most importantly, to pay attention to your gut health and your gut lining and microbiome because your microbiome and your gut lining continuously are in contact with your immune system. So if their health is better, the immune system is happier, and you're less likely to experience symptoms of allergies. If you found this video interesting and helpful, please like and share, and be sure to subscribe for more content to come.